History is filled with lost kingdoms, forgotten empires, and civilizations swallowed by time. But what if one of the greatest civilizations in human history disappeared so completely that the world convinced itself it had never existed at all? What if millions of people once lived deep inside the Amazon rainforest, building vast networks of cities, roads, farms, and ceremonial centers, only for their achievements to be erased beneath a sea of trees? Today, we are uncovering one of the most astonishing archaeological discoveries of the modern era, the hidden civilization of the Amazon. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Aeon Timeless History and join us as we explore the mysteries, forgotten cultures, and incredible stories that shaped our world. And while you're watching, let us know in the comments, do you think there are still lost civilizations waiting to be discovered beneath the forests, deserts, and oceans of our planet? Now, let's journey into the heart of the Amazon. The story begins in the year 1541. A Spanish conquistador named Francisco de Orellana found himself trapped in an impossible situation. He and his men had become separated from a larger expedition somewhere in the rugged highlands of Peru. Food was running out, supplies were nearly gone, starvation seemed inevitable. Desperate to survive, they constructed a crude vessel and launched it into a tributary river. Their intention was simple: follow the current, locate food and supplies, then return to their companions. But the river had other plans. The powerful waters carried them farther and farther downstream into a vast wilderness unlike anything Europeans had ever seen. Every mile drew them deeper into a world hidden from the outside. What they encountered would challenge everything future generations believed about the Amazon. Traveling alongside Orellana was a Dominican friar named Gaspar de Carvajal. Unlike many explorers of his era, Carvajal carefully documented everything he witnessed. As the expedition drifted down the immense river that would later become known as the Amazon, they expected to find isolated tribes and endless stretches of untouched jungle. Instead, they found something extraordinary. People. Not hundreds, not thousands, but seemingly endless numbers of people. Carvajal described settlements stretching for miles along the riverbanks. He wrote about villages connected by roads cut through the forest. He reported bustling marketplaces, public gathering spaces, and organized communities. He described fleets of canoes carrying warriors in such numbers that they appeared to cover entire sections of the river. He recorded evidence of fish farming, managed forests, agricultural systems, and interconnected settlements. To Carvajal, the Amazon was not an empty wilderness. It was a thriving human landscape. His descriptions suggested populations reaching into the millions. But when his account reached Europe, few believed him. Scholars dismissed his observations as exaggeration. Critics accused him of inventing stories to make a failed expedition seem more impressive. The reasoning appeared straightforward. The Amazon, they argued, simply could not support large populations. Its soils were considered poor. Its environment was viewed as hostile. Its ecosystem was thought too fragile to sustain advanced societies. For centuries, this assumption became accepted wisdom. Generation after generation of historians and archaeologists repeated the same conclusion. The Amazon was a wilderness, a place occupied only by small groups of scattered hunter-gatherers. And so Carvajal's testimony was largely forgotten. For nearly 400 years, his remarkable account remained buried in historical archives. Then the ground itself began to tell a different story. During the 20th century, scientists working in the Brazilian Amazon noticed something unusual. Across vast areas of rainforest, they discovered patches of dark soil unlike anything surrounding them. Normal Amazonian soil is notoriously difficult to farm. Heavy rainfall rapidly removes nutrients, leaving behind thin, acidic earth. Yet these mysterious patches were completely different. The soil was deep, rich, dark black, packed with organic material. Even more surprising, it remained fertile for centuries. Researchers named it terra preta, meaning dark earth. As scientists studied terra preta more closely, they uncovered something remarkable. This soil was not natural. It had been created by humans. Mixed within it were charcoal fragments, pottery shards, food waste, bones, and composted organic matter. Whoever produced this soil had intentionally engineered it. This represented a long-term agricultural strategy developed over generations. The implications were profound. You do not create fertile soil across enormous regions without a large population. You do not sustain agricultural systems for thousands of years without social organization. The very existence of terra preta suggested that ancient Amazonian societies were far larger and more sophisticated than previously imagined. As researchers mapped these dark earth sites, patterns emerged. The richest concentrations appeared near rivers. They clustered around elevated areas. Many seemed connected to ancient settlement locations. The evidence was becoming impossible to ignore. Perhaps Carvajal had not been exaggerating after all. But even more dramatic discoveries were still waiting beneath the forest canopy. In the 21st century, archaeologists gained access to a revolutionary technology known as LiDAR. LiDAR uses laser pulses fired from aircraft to create highly detailed maps of the landscape below. Unlike traditional aerial photography, LiDAR can penetrate dense vegetation. It effectively removes the trees from view, revealing the ground hidden underneath. For archaeologists working in the Amazon, it was like acquiring a machine capable of seeing through time. When researchers scanned sections of the Bolivian Amazon, the results stunned the scientific community. Beneath the jungle lay evidence of ancient urban centers. There were plazas, road systems, monumental earthworks, residential districts, causeways connecting distant settlements. Entire cities emerged from what had once appeared to be untouched forest. Some roads extended in remarkably straight lines for kilometers. Others connected major population centers into organized networks. These were not isolated villages. They were components of a complex civilization. And this was only a small portion of the Amazon basin. Elsewhere, in the Brazilian state of Acre, another astonishing discovery was taking shape. As forests were cleared for modern agriculture, massive geometric earthworks began appearing across the landscape. From the air, enormous circles, squares, and intricate patterns became visible. Many stretched hundreds of meters across. More than 400 geoglyphs have now been identified in the region. Some date back nearly 3,000 years. Their scale required immense labor and planning. Many appear aligned with celestial events, suggesting sophisticated astronomical knowledge. These structures were likely ceremonial gathering places, centers of ritual and social interaction. Evidence of communities large enough to organize major construction projects. The deeper researchers looked, the larger the picture became. One of the most influential figures in this field was archaeologist Michael Heckenberger. Working in Brazil's Upper Xingu region, Heckenberger spent years studying both ancient settlements and the descendants of the people who once inhabited them. His findings transformed our understanding of Amazonian history. He identified interconnected networks of settlements linked by broad roads and causeways. Each community featured carefully planned layouts. Central plazas served as gathering places. Defensive earthworks protected inhabitants. Agricultural zones surrounded residential areas. The roads connecting these settlements were engineered features, not simple trails. Some were raised above wetlands. Others crossed rivers and flood-prone terrain. Entire landscapes had been reshaped to support transportation, agriculture, and social interaction. The largest settlements housed thousands of people, and they were only part of much larger regional systems. As additional sites were discovered across the Amazon basin, population estimates began rising dramatically. What had once been believed to support perhaps 1 million people now appeared capable of sustaining many times that number. Some researchers estimate that pre-Columbian Amazonia may have been home to 8, 10, or even more than 10 million inhabitants. Large portions of the rainforest may once have been managed landscapes shaped by human activity. This realization forced scholars to reconsider centuries of assumptions. The Amazon was not simply a wilderness occupied by scattered tribes. It was a vast cultural landscape inhabited by complex societies. One reason these civilizations remained hidden for so long is that they built differently from many other ancient cultures. When people imagine lost civilizations, they often picture stone pyramids and monumental temples. The Amazonian world was different. Its builders worked primarily with earth, wood, and natural materials. In a tropical rainforest, such materials rarely survive the passage of centuries. The civilization that created them understood how to improve soil fertility over time rather than exhaust it. This achievement becomes even more impressive when we remember that modern science only recently began appreciating its significance. The Amazon's people also produced remarkable artistic traditions. Among the most famous were the communities of Marajo Island near the mouth of the Amazon River. For centuries, these societies constructed large artificial mounds that served as residential and ceremonial centers. They created pottery of exceptional beauty and complexity. Their artistic achievements rivaled some of the finest ceramic traditions in the Americas. These communities flourished for generations, demonstrating once again that advanced societies existed throughout the Amazon long before European arrival. Yet perhaps the most tragic part of this story is how it ended. Around the beginning of the 16th century, Europeans arrived in the Americas. Along with them came something invisible: disease, smallpox, measles, influenza, typhus. Indigenous populations had no immunity to these illnesses. The consequences were catastrophic. Across the Americas, epidemics swept through communities with devastating speed. In many regions, diseases spread far ahead of direct European contact. Trade networks carried infection deep into territories Europeans had never visited. The Amazon was no exception. When Orellana traveled through the region in the 1540s, he encountered thriving populations. By the time later explorers arrived generations afterward, much of that world had vanished. Villages stood abandoned, roads disappeared beneath vegetation. Agricultural systems collapsed. The forest reclaimed the landscape. Historians estimate that indigenous populations throughout the Americas may have declined by more than 90% following European contact. Few demographic disasters in human history compare to its scale. Without people to maintain roads, canals, earthworks, and agricultural systems, centuries of engineering slowly disappeared beneath the advancing jungle. The civilization did not vanish overnight. It faded over decades, then centuries, until eventually the forest concealed nearly every visible trace. And because so much had been erased, later generations assumed it had never existed. Today, modern archaeology is finally revealing the truth. Every new LiDAR survey uncovers additional settlements. Every excavation expands our understanding of ancient Amazonian societies. Every discovery challenges old assumptions about human history. But this story is about more than archaeology. It is about perspective. The Amazon civilization demonstrates how easily knowledge can be lost. It reminds us that entire chapters of human history may remain hidden beneath forests, deserts, mountains, and oceans. It teaches us that absence of evidence is not always evidence of absence. Sometimes the truth survives quietly beneath our feet, waiting for the right tools and the right questions. Perhaps most importantly, it offers lessons for the future. Ancient Amazonian societies developed sustainable ways of living within one of Earth's most complex ecosystems. Their agricultural innovations, environmental management techniques, and understanding of ecological balance continue to inspire modern research. In a world facing environmental challenges, these forgotten civilizations may still have something valuable to teach us. And so we return to the question that has fascinated explorers, archaeologists, and dreamers alike. If a civilization this vast could disappear so completely that historians denied its existence for centuries, what else might still be waiting to be discovered? What forgotten worlds remain hidden beneath dense forests? What ancient cities lie buried beneath desert sands? What stories have we dismissed simply because we have not yet found the evidence? Perhaps the greatest mystery is not what we know, it is what we have yet to uncover. Now, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe there are other lost civilizations still waiting to be found? Could entire chapters of human history remain hidden beneath the surface of our world? Share your theories and opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into one of history's greatest forgotten civilizations, please leave a like and subscribe to Aeon Timeless History for more incredible stories from the ancient world. And before you go, click on the video appearing on your screen right now. If this story fascinated you, that next video will take you even deeper into the mysteries of our past. Thank you for watching.